Hi, I'm attorney Aaron J. Boria, and today I'm going to be talking about Michigan's implied consent law. Michigan's implied consent law states that any driver who's arrested for drinking and driving in the state of Michigan must submit to a chemical test. The chemical test usually is a breathalyzer, such as a Datamaster or a Datamaster DMT, but it can also involve a blood draw or a urine sample. If you refuse to submit to a chemical test, the police officer will likely cite you for a violation of the Implied Consent Act. A violation of the Implied Consent Act includes 6 points added to your driving record and a 1-year suspension of your driving privileges, which means no driving at all for a full year. It is possible to fight an Implied Consent Act refusal. Within 14 days of being cited for the violation, you must make a request to the Secretary of State. You will then be given a date for a hearing where you and the police officer will have to show up and appear in front of a Secretary of State hearing officer. That hearing officer will hear your case and will ultimately make a decision. There are 4 legal reasons that you may refuse a chemical test in Michigan. In Michigan, we have something called a hardship appeal. Even if you refuse the Implied Consent Act, and even if you lost at the Secretary of State, you can still apply for a hardship license to the circuit court where the arrest occurred. If you are successful in circuit court, you can be granted a restricted license for the time that you would have had a suspended license and not been able to drive at all. This would allow you to get to court, work, school, medical appointments, anything that's absolutely necessary. If you have received a citation for refusing Michigan's Implied Consent Act, then contact our office today, 734-453-7806. We can represent you at the Secretary of State, and if you've already lost or you forgot to make a request to go to that hearing, we can also represent you at the circuit court in getting a restricted license so that you can get back on the road.